The Three Spinners. A long time ago, a woman and her daughter lived in a cottage in the forest. The girl worked hard. She helped her mother every day. She washed the clothes, she cleaned the house, and she cooked. But she didn't want to spin the flax. Every day her mother said, "You must spin the flax. We need thread." But the girl didn't like to spin. Every day her mother told her, "You're a naughty girl." And the girl always cried. One day, the Queen went for a trip in her carriage. She heard the girl crying, and she told the driver to stop outside the cottage. The woman and the girl came outside. "Why is your daughter crying?" asked the Queen. The woman didn't want to tell the Queen that her daughter didn't like to spin, so she told a lie. "Dear Queen, my daughter is crying because she wants to spin, but we haven't got enough flax for her to spin," said the woman. "Your daughter must come to my palace," said the Queen. "I've got lots of flax. She can spin all day." The woman was happy. She wanted her daughter to learn how to spin. At the palace, the Queen showed the girl 3 rooms. They were full of flax. "Spin this flax into thread. When the thread is ready, you will marry my son," said the Queen. The Queen left, and the poor girl didn't know what to do. "I don't know how to spin," she said. She sat down, but she didn't do anything. 3 days later, the Queen came to see the girl. The flax was still there. There wasn't any thread. The Queen was very angry. "Why aren't you spinning?" asked the Queen. "I'm sorry, but I can't spin. I miss my mother," said the girl. "Okay," said the Queen, "but tomorrow you must start to spin." The Queen left, and the girl was sad. She didn't know what to do. She went to the window, and she saw 3 women outside. They looked very strange. The first woman had a big foot. The second woman had a big lip. And the third woman had a big thumb. The 3 women looked up at the window, and they saw the girl. "Why are you crying?" the first woman asked. The girl told the 3 women about the Queen and the flax. "Don't worry, we will help you," said the second woman. "But you must promise us one thing. You must invite us to your wedding, and you must say that we are your aunts. Promise this, and we will spin the flax for you," said the third woman. The girl promised. The 3 strange women went up the stairs, and they saw the 3 rooms full of flax. They sat at the spinning wheel, and they started to spin. The first woman pressed the pedal with her big foot. The second woman made the flax wet with her big lip. And the third woman twisted the thread with her big thumb. They worked all day and all night, Soon there was lots of thread. The next day, the Queen came to see the girl again. The 3 women hid in a cupboard. The Queen saw the thread and she was very pleased. "You're working very hard," said the Queen. "You are a good girl. Soon you will marry my son." The Queen came to see the girl every day, and every day there was more thread. Soon the first room was empty. Then the second room was empty. At last, the third room was empty. All the thread was ready. The girl was very happy, and she danced around the room. The 3 women said goodbye to the girl. "Don't forget your promise," they said. When the 3 women left, the girl saw the Queen. "All the thread is ready," said the girl. The Queen was very pleased. The 3 rooms were empty and the thread was ready. "Let's plan the wedding," said the Queen. Everybody at the palace was busy. There was a lot to do before the wedding. The Queen wrote the names of all the guests on a list. The list was very long. "Who are you going to invite to your wedding?" she asked the girl. "My mother, of course," said the girl, "and my 3 aunts. I mustn't forget my 3 kind aunts." The Queen wrote their names on the list too. The Prince was very happy because he loved the girl a lot. "She is a good girl, and she is very beautiful," he thought. On the day of the wedding, the girl put on a lovely dress. She was very beautiful. The Prince was very handsome too. All the guests were in beautiful clothes. The food was delicious, and everybody was happy. Suddenly, the 3 strange women came into the room. They weren't beautiful. Their clothes were old. The other guests were very surprised. Who were these strange women? "Welcome to my wedding, my kind aunts," said the girl. The Prince was surprised too. "Are these strange women my beautiful wife's aunts? That's impossible," he thought. The Prince wanted to know why his wife's aunts looked strange. "Why have you got a big foot?" the Prince asked the first woman. "I'm a spinner, and I press the pedal with my foot," she answered. "Why have you got a big lip?" he asked the second woman. "I'm a spinner, and I make the flax wet with my lip," she answered. "Why have you got a big thumb?" he asked the third woman. "I'm a spinner, and I twist the thread with my thumb," she answered. "Then my beautiful wife must never spin again," said the Prince. What a lucky girl! She married a prince, and she never touched a spinning wheel again. We all know she didn't like to spin.